Hey everybody, welcome to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. I am John Clark with Mike Quick and Ike Reese. And hey, Eagles lost to the 49ers, but the defense, they only gave up 17 points. And through 2 weeks, only the Panthers have given up fewer points in the NFL. Ike, what are you seeing as the identity of this Birds defense?
Well, we're trying to figure out what's the identity of this overall team, and right now I say it's a defensive-led team. You watch this team through the first 2 weeks, and the biggest thing that I noticed, the explosive plays are non-existent. With the exception of the one play Deebo Samuel was able to catch and run for, they're not getting the ball thrown over their heads. I'm seeing a lot more two safeties high. The Eagles are forcing teams to try to beat them underneath. Extended drives, that's a tough way to make a living in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball, and the Eagles are banking on you not being able to have sustained drives.
Yeah, the Birds have only given up one play of 20 or more yards, Mike Quick. That's pretty impressive. They're making teams grind it out, huh?
Yeah, and to Ike's point, there have only been 3 passes attempted to 15 yards or more. So this is the kind of defense that I would hate to play against because the guys on the outside, they want to get down the field. This defense does not allow big plays, and you gotta like that. Teams are forced to go 14 play drives, 12 play drives. That's how they get points.
Well, it's gonna be a big test against the Cowboys because this is the best offense they have faced. And with more on that, here's enemy intel with Greg Cosell.
Hey guys, it's Cowboys week. We all get excited about that. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and their offense, it's been a lot about Dak Prescott recently, going back to last year when he played 4.5 games. But I believe against the Eagles, you're going to see more of what you saw last week against the Chargers as opposed to what you saw week 1 against the Bucs when Prescott threw it over 55 times. Last week, the offense was much more run-based. Dak only dropped back 29 times in the game, and Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott combined for 29 rushing attempts. My sense is that's what you'll see more of this week because of the nature of the Eagles' defense. Now, there was a particular play last week that was very representative of what the Cowboys' run game looked like, and it was Tony Pollard, not Zeke. Tony Pollard played 21 snaps last week and had 16 touches. He rushed 13 times for over 100 yards. His longest run was this 28-yarder that we'll take a look at now. It was outside zone to the boundary, and the Cowboys did an outstanding job blocking to that side of the field. In fact, the right side of their offensive line did an outstanding job all game. Here, it starts with a single block by the right tackle, Steele. Then you get a double team by Zach Martin, the right guard, and the center, working up to the second level, the linebacker, Kenneth Murray. And let's not discount C.D. Lamb here, working against the corner. That's critical on long runs. So this is a run that was exceptionally well blocked. It was an outside zone run, and Tony Pollard ran for 28 yards. This sets up to be a game just like a week ago for the Cowboys, in which the run game could well be the foundation and the starting point of what they do. Now, don't discount Dak Prescott. He throws the ball extremely well, and they've got weapons on the perimeter. But in this game, let's start with the run game. That is what I believe will be the foundation of the Cowboys offense.
All right, so if what Greg says is true, the Cowboys are going to concentrate on running the ball against the Eagles. Cowboys had close to 200 rushing yards against the Chargers last week, and you mix in Tony Pollard. How much of a challenge is this for the Eagles?
Well, I mean, I think it plays right into the Eagles' hands. You look at what the Chargers did against the Cowboys last week, playing 2 high safeties. An offense sees that, they see a light box, so they're going to run the ball. They didn't want to be beaten by the pass, so Dallas obliged them and started running the football. And I believe the Eagles, who have played a lot of 2 high safety this year, will come in with the same game plan and try to force Dallas to beat them running the football. And the reason why I say it plays into the Eagles' hands, because they're going to run the ball with Zeke and Tony Pollard, and most of those runs are going to be in between the tackles against the 2 best defensive players on this team, and Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, who's off to a fantastic start. You watched them last week against San Francisco, and San Francisco arguably is one of the best running football teams in the whole National Football League. And you watch this play here. First mistake, San Francisco thinks that they can block Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave with single blocks. Now, Fletcher and Javon will get a chance to go up against Zach Martin and Connor Williams in this situation versus the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't think there's a guard in this league that can block Fletcher or Javon Hargrave one-on-one. This play here, great job getting off the ball, single blocks, defeats the blocks, but most importantly, they constrict the hole, not leaving a running lane for Elijah Mitchell. And then Javon Hargrave's been doing what he's been doing the first 2 weeks. Another tackle for loss. Big play here against San Francisco. If Dallas believes that they can run the ball in the interior part of their offensive line against Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, it's going to be a long day for the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, Ezekiel Elliott always does well against the Eagles, averaging 139 yards rushing and receiving. So that is a big matchup against Ezekiel Elliott. What other matchups are you interested in?
Well, I like the outside guys. Without BG on the field, that means Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett, they have to step up. They've got to play really good football. You've got two outstanding tackles from the Dallas Cowboys, Steele on one side, Smith on the left side. Both these guys can flat out get it. BG gives a lot to this defense, not only in the passing game, but he's a run stopper. Leads the team in tackles for losses last year. He's so disruptive in the pass game. You've got to be able to replace that production.
Yeah, how do you think the loss of BG changes up things? Because it's kind of moving some guys around. Some guys are going to have to play more. And it gives an opportunity for some guys to step up even more, right?
Yeah, and having been in that position myself in my career, you obviously don't want the guy in front of you to go down, but as a backup, you have to be prepared to go. And the Eagles in years past have done a good job of having their backup players ready to go. Stars are born out of these type of circumstances, and somebody's going to have to step up and make a name for themselves. Josh Sweat has not been a starter per se. Now he may get his opportunity to go out there and show exactly why the Eagles showed the faith they've shown in him by giving him a contract extension.
Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. And by Pepsi, your official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And the Cowboys defense, they're giving up a lot of passing yards, 346 passing yards a game, second worst in the NFL. That was Tom Brady and Justin Herbert. So what are we going to see from the Eagles? They had a lot of opportunities against the 49ers.
Well, I think when they scouted the 49ers, they knew that they were going to get a lot of single coverage on the outside. The Eagles offense built on speed, a lot of speed on the perimeter, so they knew that they were going to get some shots. They took some shots, didn't hit on as many of them as they would like to have, but take a look at this play. This is the one that they hit on. I think when Jalen Hurts goes to the line of scrimmage, he sees the matchup that he wants on the outside. And right away, he knows where he's going to go with the football. His fastest guy, Quez Watkins, on the outside in man coverage, and watch him as he plants his feet and launches this pass. And it's a perfect toss to Quez Watkins. It's a 91-yard bomb. I think if they had had 2 or 3 more of these, it would have changed the complexion of the game. They had the one down the sideline that was called back, but going into this game, it's obvious the Eagles knew that they could use their speed as an advantage on the outside.
And when the Eagles were down there in the red zone at the goal line, they didn't have Brandon Brooks. For the 4th straight year, he's missing time with an injury. How big of a loss is that, Ike?
It's obviously a huge loss. Brandon Brooks, one of the best guards in football when he's healthy. We know the type of tandem that he and Lane Johnson pose for defenders on that side of the football. And it's unfortunate that he's going to be out. But that's exactly part of the reason why the Eagles decided to go out and spend a high draft pick on arguably the best offensive lineman in the draft, or at least one of the top ones in the draft, in Landon Dickerson. And we got a chance to see him play for the first time last week. Mike just broke down the deep pass to Quez Watkins. Well, guess what? That was one of Landon's first plays in the game. Gave up a little pressure there, but I like the fact that he got stout and gave Jalen a little bit of a pocket to release that ball. First game, a little rough around the edges. That's totally expected, but I expect him to come out this week with a little bit more of the reason why they drafted him. It's a loss not having Brandon Brooks out there, but I'm excited to see what Landon Dickerson holds for the future here.
Landon is very smart, could be making his first NFL start on Monday Night Football. With more on that Cowboys defense, here is Greg Cosell.
Mike showed us that the Eagles offense has a lot of speed on the perimeter, and we're excited about that. But they're going up against a Cowboys defense. Man, when you turn on the tape, this is a fast defense. For those used to thinking of the Cowboys a year ago when they were not very good on D, this is a new season. This team can run. They've got a lot of new players on that side of the ball, and this is a fast, active defense. They play a lot of man coverage, they get people up at the line of scrimmage, and they pressure. And there was a really good example of that on third down last week against Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense. What you're going to see here is that double mug look with Leighton Vander Esch and Keanu Neal in the A-gaps. Now, one other thing you want to notice right away, look at Micah Parsons. He's at left defensive end. With all their injuries along the defensive front, Parsons is now a defensive end. Last week against the Chargers, every snap he played was on the ball, on the line of scrimmage at defensive end. So that's something to be aware of. But what they do here is they bring Keanu Neal as a blitzer. They also have a rookie D tackle, Odigizua, and he's a very good pass rusher, excellent quickness. So what happens here is you get the combination of Odigizua beating the guard to the outside, you have Neal rushing and beating the back, and this forces Justin Herbert to have to move. And then you have Leighton Vander Esch, who, remember, he was initially in the A-gap. He is there to clean it up and get a 7-yard sack on 3rd and long. So this is the style of defense now that the Cowboys have. Their front 7 is fast. They're better on the outside. Trayvon Diggs made an unbelievable interception last week in man-to-man coverage. He's a very good man defender. He's playing much faster than he did as a rookie a year ago. So this is a different Cowboys defense, and Dan Quinn is the coordinator. For those of you who remember Dan Quinn and think of him, hey, it's cover 3, that's your grandfather's Dan Quinn defense. That's not what the Cowboys are now. They play a lot of cover 1, they'll pressure, they play some cover 4, but this is much more of an aggressive attacking defense, and they bring speed and activity to the party.
All right, so obviously a fast Cowboys defense, but Mike Quick, if they're playing a lot of man-to-man, are you liking that for the Eagles passing game?
Absolutely, because the Eagles are faster on the outside. You know, they've got Diggs on one side, they got Anthony Brown on the other side. When you're a wide receiver and you're facing a matchup like this, and you know you're getting man coverage, oh, you get so excited.
Look at Mike, look at him.
You really get excited about that. Any good wide receiver, that's what he wants to see. You can't hide in zone coverage. Play a man up and see what you're really made of.
I like this. He lit up, and you're going to light up talking about the Cowboys' defensive line. Obviously, they're without DeMarcus Lawrence, but when you see what Micah Parsons did playing DN for the first time since high school, what do they have to watch out for with him?
But this kid is a freak athlete. We all know that. You watch his combine, you're talking about running a low 4.4, high 4.39. That's what Mike Quick ran coming out of college. And this is a linebacker, he's able to do it. So I'm not surprised that they were able to move him down, put his hand in the dirt, and let him just get after the pass. So he's probably better off doing that going forward as opposed to backpedaling. But the Eagles are going to have to know where he's at all times because he's like a rover backer as well. They're going to try to find a weak spot in this offensive line and then run games with Micah Parsons.
Well, welcome back to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. And this week on Tape Study, I want to take a look at a couple of early third down conversions for this Eagles offense. We talked earlier in the show about a little bit more aggressive offensively here for the Eagles, right? They attacked more downfield than they did in week 1 when we talked about how they did such a great job of creating defined reads for the quarterback, some easy layups both in the run game and in the pass game. And I thought on some of these third down conversions early in the football game in week 2, we saw some good examples of exactly that. Here's our first example. 3rd and 1. We get here a heavy formation from the Eagles. You've got a YY set, both tight ends to the left. You've got the running back, Miles Sanders, in the shotgun to the right of Jalen Hurts. If you're the defense here for San Francisco, this looks like a setup for a zone run to the left. And at the snap of the ball, look at the body language of the Eagles offensive line. You're going to get Jason Kelsey, Isaac Seumalo, Jordan Mailata, Brandon Brooks. Everybody's blocking to the left. You're going to get that first initial step for Miles Sanders this way. The key defender to watch here is the star linebacker, Fred Warner. He's going to step down as if this is going to be a run to the left-hand side. Now, the other defender to watch is the defensive end on the right. And the reason why, the Eagles are not going to block him. And if you go fast forward now to this matchup, Micah Parsons is this defensive end. Talk about how impactful he was last week against the Chargers. You don't want to worry about blocking him. Well, don't block him. You're going to read him. And that's exactly what the Eagles are going to do. You're faking run this way with that initial step off the ball. But now what this becomes is a speed option play. This is straight out of the military academies, Army, Navy. Everybody at the college level will run some kind of play like this, where you're going to get the quarterback running right at this defensive end. They call him the read key. The quarterback, Jalen Hurts, he's going to read this defensive end. If he crashes down on the quarterback, well, Jalen just has to flip this ball over to Miles Sanders. If the defensive end tries to take the running back out of the equation, well, now Jalen Hurts is just going to keep this ball and run right down the seam. The big thing is, remember that initial footwork from the offensive line and how it got the linebacker to attack the line of scrimmage. Look what that initial step did. It created a very favorable angle, and really across the board. Look at all of the Eagles' offensive linemen. Everybody is blocking from right to left here and creating a nice seal. Everybody is blocked off. So now you have essentially isolated this play side D end here for the 49ers. So Jalen Hurts is just going to read off of him. And now it's an easy pickup, first down. You get Miles Sanders in space down the sideline. Good blocking at the second level by the Eagles wide receivers once again, and the Eagles move the chains. Really good example of a well-defined play, easy yardage there on third down. Another example also involving the running backs a little bit later. 3rd and 3. I want you to watch. Here you've got Kenny Gainwell. It's an 11 personnel set. You've got one back, one tight end, who's Zach Ertz here on the field. You go in an empty set. So Jalen Hurts by himself in the backfield. What that does, it spreads the defense out, and it gives Jalen Hurts an idea before the snap of the football what the defense is trying to do. Because if you look, when you have Kenny Gainwell lined up outside the numbers, let's see who's across from him. Is this a corner? No, it's a linebacker. So what does that tell you? It's probably man-to-man coverage. If this was a corner out here, you're probably playing some kind of zone coverage, right? You're going to play maybe cover 3, maybe cover 4. That tells you that it's zone. But since this is a linebacker matched up on Kenny Gainwell, that gets you an idea they're worried about the matchup, so it's man-to-man coverage. The Eagles have a man-to-man beater built into this play. So let's see exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bring Kenny Gainwell in short motion towards the formation. So here he comes. Jalen's going to bring him in motion closer into the formation. A couple of routes to watch. You've got Zach Ertz working up the middle of the field. He's going to break inside. You're going to get Greg Ward running a little shallow cross route. What does that do? Creates a whole lot of traffic. You're going to have a bunch of bodies here in the middle of the field, and now Kenny Gainwell can work underneath that traffic and force this linebacker to work through it. Well, he's going to get stuck in this traffic, and watch as Gainwell is able to create that separation. Jalen Hurts gets the ball out. The Eagles convert there on 3rd and short. So 2 well-defined plays here, both to the Eagles running backs, one in the run game, one in the pass game. And I think that that's something we will continue to see here from this Eagles offense, and it's certainly something I'm going to be watching on Monday Night Football against that fast, aggressive Dallas Cowboys front. Something to watch here, both the run game and the pass game in Nick Sirianni's offense.
Welcome back to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. Now, the Eagles have lost their last 3 trips to Dallas, giving up an average of 33 points. What do you want to see out of this Eagles defense and the whole team?
Well, first of all, let's not give up 33 points. I don't think that's going to happen. But you obviously got to find a way to get to the quarterback. And I'd like to see some turnovers, right? You know, Dak threw an interception last week. I like the way our defensive line is getting after the quarterback. I like the defensive scheme that Jonathan Gannon is running. I believe Darius Slay could get his first interception off of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I still believe there's an issue there with the shoulder. He isn't throwing the ball down the field as much. A lot of intermediate passes. He's playing it safe. But if we can get some tips on the ball, I think we can get us some interceptions.
Well, he hosts a show with Slay. He might have some intel here.
Let me stay to that because I think defensively the Eagles dominated the early part of the game last week, and that's really what they have to do. The Cowboys offense, very versatile. They can do a lot of things. 2 running backs, outstanding wide receivers on the outside, a good tight end. But with the way this defense is playing now, that's how the Eagles have to lead. Let the defense set the tone. I think they can do that again on Monday Night Football.
And they're going to be facing the best quarterback they've seen so far this year. Dak Prescott is tearing it up. Hey, get ready for Monday Night Football, right? Eagles, Cowboys, does it get any better than this? Check out the kickoff show on PhiladelphiaEagles.com at 7:30. For Mike Quick, he's Ike Reese, I'm John Clark. Thanks for watching Eagles Game Plan, presented by Toyota.
Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. And by Pepsi, your official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles.